Hey, Puppy Trades! I have a story for you. A tale of two option screens, if you will, because this is a pretty monumental day for the entire world of investing and trading, in my opinion. Because this is the short strangle screen from bar chart. Now, normally for the entire history of this channel, I focused on the long strangle screen and the long straddle screen. So a long straddle and a long strangle for strangles when an out of the money call is bought and an out of the money put is bought. Ideally, it's done when implied volatility rank is as close to zero as possible, and usually at the end of a tight consolidation pattern, implied volatility is low, and then the trader buys an out of the money call, they buy an out of the money put, and then the move itself is big enough to profit. And the idea is when these types of positions are paired in a portfolio, they give a delta neutral position that can go profit from either way, essentially. So this is the short strangle screen, and it's actually the opposite of the long strangle screen. As we can read right here, it's extremely risky. The short strangle is a low volatility option strategy where you can expect the underlying security to remain range bound. The short strangle option strategy involves selling a call option and selling a put at a lower strike price. Maximum loss can be significant if the underlying security aggressively moves in either direction. Maximum profit is the premium received for the short call and short put net credit. The short strangle strategy succeeds if the underlying security is trading within the range between downside break even, lower strike net credit, and upside break even, higher strike net credit at expiration. A maximum profit is achieved if the underlying security is between the strike prices at expiration. So this is an extremely advanced an extremely risky premium collection strategy. I don't condone this strategy at all. I don't use this strategy at all, and that's why I've never focused on it in this channel ever until today. Because this is a stock, one on this screen, Tesla, and this is stock. Oh no, where is it? You've got to be kidding me. NVIDIA, there it is, stock 2. Stock 2 on this screen. There. Woo. We have two stocks on this screen now. Where I believe, and this isn't perfect, but I believe it actually is possible now to run a short strangle on Tesla and NVIDIA through ETFs. Okay, that's the big asterisk. Through ETFs. I now believe I have access to this option right here. Selling a strangle on NVIDIA or selling a strangle on Tesla. And in fact, I am already doing this in my portfolio through ETFs because for NVIDIA, for Coinbase, and for Tesla, they all have three things in common. Now, NVIDIA and Coinbase have two really big things in common for me. But all three of them recently now have, ta-da, ETFs from YieldMax that run the opposite of the out-of-the-money synthetic covered call strategy. They run the synthetic short put income strategy. I believe I got that right. The YieldMax Short NVIDIA Option Income Strategy ETF, DIPS, is an actively managed ETF that seeks to generate monthly income from a synthetic covered put strategy on NVIDIA while providing indirect short exposure to the share price of NVIDIA. DIPS seeks to benefit when the NVIDIA share price decreases. However, DIPS' potential corresponding benefit from decreases in the NVIDIA share price is limited. DIPS seeks to manage potential losses, i.e. capped losses, if the NVIDIA share price experiences significant gains by purchasing out-of-the-money call options. The loss capping works only if NVIDIA's share price rises to or above the strike price of the out-of-the-money call option. If the NVIDIA share price increases but stays below the strike price of these options, dips will incur losses proportionate to this price increase, which may be up to 100% of your investment. So I'm just going to disclose to you guys right now. For Tesla, NVIDIA, and Coinbase, I have held the Yield Max ETFs and collected dividends such that NVIDIA paid for itself a long time ago. Coinbase, I made a 240% return on Coinbase Commons, as well as CONY paying for itself a long time ago. Now, Tesla, I bought it on a dip with Tesla, and I blended it together when Tesla was at about the 150s, and I've collected dividends from Tesla that whole time. Now what I'm doing is I'm buying TSLY and CRSH, and I'm basically buying a delta neutral short strangle on Tesla as well as on Coinbase, and I'm adding them to my pre-existing positions. Okay, my pre-existing positions on Coinbase CONY. I don't own Coinbase anymore, but I still collect those dividends from CONY. My pre-existing position on Tesla, and soon I certainly plan to do it on my big winner, NVIDIA. So why am I saying that I think that these funds, if I own Tesla, TSLY, and CRSH together, which is running the synthetic put on Tesla, why am I saying I think that that is a short strangle? Well, it's not a perfect short strangle, and that's because I'm never gonna enter a perfect short strangle because there's way too much risk. And out of the money call being sold naked is probably the most dangerous kind of trade that exists. And out of the money put being sold is called, if it's a cash secured put, is a little sometimes considered less risky if the investor wants to buy shares of the underlying if the put ends up in the money. Anyway, so what Tesla does is it owns in the money, it owns an at the money call, and it sells an at the money put with the exact same strike. So when a at the money call is bought, that has a delta of 50. When an at the money put is sold, that has a delta of negative 50. So since it's sold, negative is positive, so that has a delta of 100. With that 100 delta, Tesla sells an out of the money call with a shorter expiration. Okay? Got it? So, and it collects that big premium until the share price can keep going. Tesla can keep going up with Tesla until the out of the money call strike is hit. That's when the gains are capped. So that, I believe, is the optimal way for me to run the covered call on Tesla because it's actively managed. They continue readjusting the options position. They continue collecting that out of the money synthetic covered call. So I believe that's the call leg being sold in the short strangle. What CRSH does with a 63% yield, even though Tesla was ripping during this time, is the opposite. What they do, they buy the at the money put. Then they sell a naked call that's at the money. Okay, so that's where I need to stop right there. That's extremely risky for me to do ever. That's why I have to do it through ETF, because I could never go into my brokerage account and sell a naked call on Tesla. Okay, that's crazy. Okay, so that's why doing this through an ETF is so important for me. So I already own Tesla, and I've been buying Tesla blended with CRSH in the same way I already own CONY. Big winner for me, and now I'm locking in those gains. I'm buying CONY and I'm buying Fiat, which is the Coinbase counterpart. So what this ETF does, CRSH and fiat, and dips, what they're doing is they are buying an at the money put, then they're selling an at the money call. Okay, so that gives them a delta of negative 100. Against that negative 100 delta, they sell a short term weekly put. So they're collecting that massive premium, that put premium from all those Tesla bears, all those Coinbase bears, all those Nvidia bears. I like that. Okay? And then to hedge, they're and then the better part is that if Coinbase and Tesla and Nvidia go down, the option premium is going to get more bloated, and the actual underlying position can have gains up until the put strike price is hit. So that's very cool too. So that is selling a put. So what they do to hedge the naked call they're selling is they buy out of the money calls on these stocks. Now when I say out of the money, they're out of the money. Okay, so they're pretty far out of the money. I think Tesla's was hedged with the 265 call for 719, and even though Tesla ripped, it barely hit that in the money position. So basically, what I've just described is a way that Tesla, CONY, and NVDY, all winners of mine, especially CONY and NVDY, they now have counterpart ETFs. What they did is they sold out of the money calls. What these ETFs do is they sell out of the money puts. And what's that called? That's called a short strangle. Oh my goodness. That's called a short strangle, isn't it? It's not perfect. Some people will say there's a box in there, but that's a short strangle to me. And that's history, because I've looked at the screen for about 4 years, and I've never been able to ever really think about running the short strangle. All that assignment risk to me for the premium collection was never going to be worth it. But now I can do it through ETFs. So since I own Nvidia, Tesla, and Coinbase, they're already big winners. What I'm doing is I'm now adding these delta neutral positions already to the big winner. I'm locking in those gains, and I believe I can keep compounding these positions. They're going to keep being actively managed, and the combined net asset value, NAV, I believe is going to stay relatively even while the large premiums are collected. And that's what I think is going to happen over time. It's the opposite of a long straddle. I think that this is a winning, it's not a strategy without its risk. But what could this also mean? It could also mean in the future, when the stock market's having some rough days, now all of a sudden I've got a portfolio full of ETFs like CRSH, DIPS, and Fiat, which are profiting to the downside. So, long story short, I used to talk about buying straddles and strangles on the Metaverse ETF METV to get myself unlimited downside and upside exposure. Now this CRSH, Fiat, and dips, keep in mind, I'm already having a pre-existing winning position adding to these. So I'm adding delta neutral positions to these to help lock in those gains. And one day, I believe, I'm going to be very thankful. The stock market's going to be quite red, and all of a sudden I'm going to look in my portfolio, and instead of having straddles and strangles on the Metaverse ETF, that I'm very thankful for giving me unlimited downside exposure, I'll have ETFs that are collecting the rampant implied volatility in those short-dated puts, and also profiting from the downside. And right here, we see two of the stocks that now have that to be a strategy ran for are on the short strangle screen. That's why, I was going to start this with a tale of two cities, a tale of two option screens, the best of times. So that's the best of times. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom. It was the age of foolishness. It was the epoch of belief. It was the epoch of incredulity. It was the season of light. It was the season of darkness. It was the spring of hope. It was the winter of despair. We had everything before us. We had nothing before us. We had all going direct to heaven. We were all going direct the other way. In short, the period was so far like the present period that some of the noisiest authorities insisted on its being received for good or for evil, in the superlative degree of comparison only. So we're going to get to the bad, the worst of times. We're going to look at another option screen. And really, this is just one of many examples of something that's been seen for so long. We're going to look at another option screen, the worst of times. Okay, the worst of times. You know, this has been a thing for a long time. What we're going to see. There's the crazy biotech stocks of the day, right? That's nothing new. There are all types of things like that. But what's really going on, of course, look at all of these. The Russell 2000 big bull bet for Vanguard's version. Two oil ETFs, big bull bets. Of course, big straddles and strangles on Mexico. Big straddles and strangles on the materials sector. Straddles and strangles on energy ETFs, of course. The industrials. The stock market is getting ready for a massive move in some of these sectors, of course. And when I first got into trading and investing, I was always told that it was people like the man who got arrested on the day that I posted this, Zach Morris, who ran the stock market. They were pumping and dumping stocks on Reddit, and so that was the only way to, figure this out. I believe allegedly Zach Morris got, in some deep doo doo for something that he was doing. So that was a very scary day for FinTwit. A lot of people thought that it would not be, acceptable to talk about the stock market. And so that's why I remember Shopify, I always remember this post because I was like, you know what, I can't believe he did that. He was telling, his followers that, he was, bullish stocks, that he was actually shorting after the rally, allegedly is what the sources and the, accusations had been. Anyway, that was a scary day for FinTwit. And another thing I've talked about that a lot of people think is a joke is this kind of roaring kitty guy, and how, if you remember, Kamala Harris has actually had some very interesting thoughts about roaring kitty, and of course she's had some very interesting thoughts on some of the vaccine and the virus stocks that we're going to go over in this video. So Kamala Harris and her presidency, unfortunately, I was just never satisfied with this excuse. I was like, okay, maybe for the small stocks that no one's heard of, the super low floaters, and that's what they were focusing on, right? I guess that makes sense that he could be doing that, but I just didn't quite buy that, right? I knew there was another way people were making money from the stock market. It wasn't all just Reddit traders, and of course now, Roaring Kitty is helping people convince, the masses that no, it is just Reddit traders that are controlling the stock market. And I think that's quite sad, but there is some truth to this idea that people who are in the know get a head start, right? So I'm going to tell my followers some special stuff, all right? You guys are going to get to learn something cool before everyone else, all right? I give you a 99.99999% chance Kamala Harris is going to be President of the United States of America in August, okay? She's going to be President of the United States of America in August. I'll tell you exactly how I know that in a second. Let me just give you a little more proof. How are my people in Houston doing? I said it's spooky how Tesla's 1.5x leveraged ETF TSLL exploded into wave 3 right at the 13-week time fib found by measuring the length of the small degree wave 1 within the larger degree, Wave 1A, which is a practice I invented and refined in 2023 and didn't make public until 2024. So let's look at this picture a little bit. We've got 5 cats right here. We've got 5 cats. The aliens, the sandwiches, the aliens, we'll figure out what the aliens are referencing. But the sandwiches, that's because I was realizing that CRSH and TSLY as well as TSLP, which I also buy instead of Tesla or blended with Tesla, was going to make a short strangle. So that's why I was very happy about Tesla, and then I was thrilled when NVIDIA and Coinbase. I really think that Coinbase one is going to be amazing. Blending that, using that as the crypto hedge for MSTY and BITO. Ooh, very interesting. Anyway, we've got 5 cats right here, and we've got 2 Houston Texans players, and their name Deshaun Watson and J.J. Watt. So I was warned about these two's involvement in some of the messaging that goes on. So that's what they're representing, right? The Houston Watt players, right? The energy capital of the world, right? They're gonna lose power, okay? And of course, for the decoding community, we know all about this because the band Public Enemy released "What Are You Gonna Do When the Grid Goes Down." And it had a picture of the Valentine State, Arizona, that was founded on or discovered on Valentine's Day, and 214 days before, 214 days before Valentine's Day was when Public Enemy released that album with Arizona on the cover. So 214, 214 is the Dallas area code. And so then before that, we had Houston lose 2 players, Watts and Watson, before the power went out in Dallas and Houston on Valentine's Day. So that's kind of, my little homage to that cute little, ritual they did. So I've got Deshaun Watson and J.J. Watt up there. And I got 5 cats. Of course, this was July 2nd when a Category 5 Hurricane Beryl was expected to hit southern Mexico, the Yucatan Peninsula, and dissipate. All the meteorologists were saying it wasn't supposed to, be any trouble for Houston at all. And I said, no, actually, we're going to see a massive power outage in Houston. And then, funny enough, after this massive power outage, everyone was using Whataburger, a sandwich app, to know when the power outages were. I thought that was interesting. That wasn't on purpose, at least not intentionally. So, how did I know that Hurricane Beryl was going to cause the power to go out in Houston? Well, because Houston is Harris County. Beryl hit Kingston, Jamaica, and Kamala Harris is obviously she's got I believe some Jamaican descent, and her dad's name is Donald. Donald's the son of a woman named Beryl. So I knew that Hurricane Beryl that hit Jamaica was also going to hit Harris County, and it was going to knock out the power. So anyway, I'm going to tell you a little more about Kamala Harris. She is going to be president of the United States in August. I guarantee you that. Watch. Here's why. They have to wait until August because we see Harris, just like Hurricane Beryl, was going to hit Harris County. Kamala Harris, her grandma's name is Beryl. Hurricane Beryl hit Kingston, Jamaica. So yeah, it was always going to Harris County. So August matches 89-89, 73-73, 37-37, 438, 438, 534, 534, 283, 283, 299, 299. That's called a gematria anagram. So Kamala Harris is going to be president in August. They have to wait until August. And the stock market knows, right? The stock market knows. Isn't that great? So when yeah, the stock market knows all of this. This is awesome, right? Everyone, you're gonna hear about all these changes. The world already knows about these changes that are coming, right? The pot stocks, MJ, a leading diagonal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave one, A, B, C, wave two. We're gonna see the length of wave one placed at the wave two be met, I believe, for 5.43 before a shallow wave 4 and a wave 5 higher. At minimum, if wave 4 retests the wave 1 high and wave 5 is the length of wave 1 placed at the wave 4 low, we can see MJ go all the way up to 7.04. So the pot stocks, right, they're going to have this meteoric surprise, right? Surprise, surprise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for Tilray, wave 1, ABC, wave 2. I'm long a small position, CGC and Tilray leaps, wave 1, wave 2. I expect 1.65 won't get broken. 3.11 to 3.22 on MJ. More important, invalidation, Smith & Wesson brands, right? Your firearms, right? You're going to lose all your gun rights. Isn't that awesome? The stock market already knows you're going to lose your gun rights. Silly? Yeah, they already know you're going to lose all your gun rights. Kamala Harris is going to be president. She's going to take your guns. 1, 2, yeah, but does it matter? I mean, right? Does it really matter? Yeah, like at a certain point, I think it does. I think that is the answer. But if I can just tell you all this is going to happen and then it does and then, okay. Like, it's like, okay, well, maybe like we've all subconsciously decided this is what we want. Or maybe we haven't. Maybe there's like really advanced mind control going on. I've kind of studied both sides of the issue and you tell me, chat. Anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave 1, ABC, wave 2. Yeah, this August, you're about to lose your gun rights. So go. I'm not even really like a big Second Amendment person like that, but I mean, yeah, I get why we need it. Anyway, we'll get into some other reasons why we need it. I'm looking for Smith & Wesson brands to hold 12.28. Enter wave 3 of wave 3. Right? Surprise, surprise. Sturm and Ruger, right? I mean, what's going on here? Yeah, they know. Everybody knows. I guess everyone knows, and we're cool with it. So maybe this is what we want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave 1, ABC, wave 2. Enjoy your firearms, right? I mean, the other reason could be a blackout, right? And then we have. But I don't see how we're going to see the blackout. If we have a blackout, how are we going to see the rally for Ruger in SWBI? I think they're going to live stream this. They're going to live stream us turning in our guns so they can film it for Animal Planet later for some other species. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave 1, ABC, wave 2. I think 18.44. Yeah, like how our gun rights are going to get 18.44. Yeah, Kamala's president. It's coming soon, unless like the Civil War starts, because they, check out my work on MODG. Anyway, Ruger, I'm looking for 18.44 to hold. Yeah, very interesting. Everyone knows this. Everybody knows China, right? K-Web, of course. K-Web knows. Do you think they're going to leave K-Web out of the loop? Xi Jinping, this was probably all his idea. Right? Anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave 1, A, B, C, wave 2, right? Everyone's like, oh, they had a movie called Looper. I mean, really, they had a movie called Looper. They say, go get your, they go say, hey, I'm from the from the future. Go get your silver. Right? Go get your silver and go to China. I'm looking at some of the charts right now, and I'm like, what year did that take place? I'm like, whoa. Anyway, we don't need to go to China. We can just bring China here. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Well, these are the good times, baby. And then when Kamala Harris is president, you've already been conditioned to accept it's going to happen. You've also been conditioned to accept, by the way, you've also been conditioned to accept Yeah, this is gonna go off a few times. Yeah, that's gonna go off. What was it? Yeah. Yeah, so CrowdStrike Blue Screen Day and Justin Timberlake arrested, both of those major events that were in the minds of the masses, they're all gematria anagrams with emergency broadcast system. Notice they all got 1119 in them. Yeah, that's going to come up and be a theme later. But yes, you've already been programmed to accept what's going to happen, right? Don't you get it? You've already been programmed to accept there's going to be an emergency broadcast system alert probably before the election, and that Kamala Harris is going to be president in August. Isn't that awesome? Right? And that's all that really matters. Anyway, so the stock market, the stock market knows about all of this stuff. But let's look at some more things they already know about. Bow Zone, I figured I would include this one. Right? We're probably in the last days of me being able to do Elliott Wave, because I told you guys, oh guys, look, right? Hey, puppy trades, why do you talk about gematria? Why do you talk about gematria? Talk about, I've actually never, I don't know how many ciphers this is. This is probably a lot. Don't talk about gematria, talk about Elliott Wave. Look at this. Don't talk about gematria, talk about Elliott Wave. Okay, the Elliott Wave, that's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cipher match with Jesuit order, or this Elliott Wave. Which one? Anyway, one of the other ones is a big match with the Jesuit order too. But anyway, yeah, don't worry. I'll stop talking about gematria before the emergency broadcast system is announced, before Kamala Harris, or probably after Kamala Harris is president in August. You watch what happens to Ruger and SWBI. Oh yeah, this is who I really made this video for. Because you guys, some of you guys were really, even if you disagree with me about the stock market, you cared to me, you agreed with me about what really mattered, right? So this video is for you. I thought about not making this. I probably I hope I didn't turn Joanna off so early. She was a new follower, right? But I just couldn't do this much longer. Not talk about this. Yeah, it's the end, baby. It's gonna be. Come on. I mean, what do you think's gonna happen? Kamala Harris is gonna be president. The firearms stocks are gonna explode, and Pfizer's gonna explode. Do you need me to put this together in a math equation for you? Yeah, you want to be like do we all want to be like New Zealand in 2021, in Australia in 2021? Maybe we do. Maybe we do. Yeah, we're not gonna have gun rights. China's gonna explode. All our medical autonomy is gonna be gone. You're probably gonna get strapped to a board and injected with 5 of these things the moment. Anyway, yeah, man, this is gonna happen. Kamala Harris is gonna be president. You're losing your gun rights. Pfizer's gonna explode. And this is all happening. Yes, this is all happening, fam. This mattered. We had time. We got lulled into this hypnosis of what did you think was gonna happen? Did you really think Pfizer? This is why knowing Elliott Wave matters. What did you think was gonna happen? Pfizer's just gonna disappear? No, man. Pfizer's gonna enter wave 3. Oh wow, Pfizer's gonna enter wave 3. China's gonna enter wave 3. Smith & Wesson brands is gonna enter wave 3. The pot stocks are gonna enter wave 3. And you have been programmed already to accept that Kamala Harris is gonna be president in August. You're gonna know all about the Trump event. And then there's gonna be an emergency broadcast system announced. And you spent the whole time you could have been preparing, telling the dude to stop talking about gematria and get back to Elliott Wave. Yeah, man, the truth community lost. I'm starting to wonder if this is a bad thing. Co-diagnostics, yeah, man. I mean, I was telling you guys, they got the testing program for this already funded through late 2025, late 2026. How do you think they're going to get this global testing thing done? They've given millions of dollars to this. Wake up. Wake up. But you guys know, you guys want to wake up with all these accounts to support this guy, right? This guy knows all the accounts. This guy, really? I mean, come on now. You guys have never seen a play? This guy's a professional actor. Yeah, man. Wait till you find out. These guys know about all of this. These guys know about all of this. While DJT is above 24.83, 22.55, way too wide, 24.83, I'll say is the invalidation. Yeah, they think they know about all this. They think they know about all this. Who do you think the GameStop bulls are? Yeah, they think they know about all of this. They think of Kamala Harris as president. These guys, the DJT bulls, yeah, they think of Kamala Harris as president. When you lose your gun rights during the Ruger Wave 3 and the Smith & Wesson brands Wave 3, and when the Pfizer thing happens and the co-diagnostics things happen, they think this is all actually going to be a good thing. Because DJT is actually, he's actually still the shadow president. And he wants you to see how bad it would have been if Kamala Harris was president. They're going to be going along with this. They're going to be happy. They're going to be saying, trust the plan. Hey, trust the plan. I mean, Pfizer bulls, right? Trust the plan. Co-diagnostics bulls, trust the plan. We don't have much longer to talk about this stuff, fam. K-Web's entering Wave 3. GameStop, Wave 1, Wave 2. All the GameStop bulls talking about, I want to help Roaring Kitty take down the financial system. I think he's coming back probably in August too. Right with Kamala. And right when those GameStop bulls get what they want, oh baby. They're going to have their solution to people like Roaring Kitty giving their opinions on the stock market. They don't want you to do that anymore. And so, yeah, I've been buying my physical silver. Definitely. But yeah, they know. They know Kamala's going to be president. There's going to be all these surprise moves. Surprise! Surprise! Oh, there's going to be lots of surprises. There's going to be so many surprises. I love surprises. Yeah. The only question I have now is, do we want this? Do we ask for this collectively as a society? Or did they really have some advanced, really? They're going to do the alien thing? They're going to have Kamala be president in August. They're going to have the Trump event. They're going to do the whole election variant. Why is Riot Blockchain going to rally?